Chapter 4. Get Me Out of Here. I have called Chapter 4 Get Me Out of Here because that is precisely what I'm thinking as Mr. Steamwilly ushers me into his band office and closes the door behind us. He is smiling, which I take to be a bad sign. Please sit, John, he says. So I sit. You have unusual technique when it comes to your tuba, he says with a grin. I nod. Highly unusual. I nod. Thank you. This is going to sound crazy, but sometimes I swear it almost looks like you're talking to it and treating it as if it's alive. I manage to smile back. I even manufacture a little laugh. Mr. Stingwilly, you are far too smart to be teaching at our anti school, and you are far too smart to be too smart for me to handle one on one in your office like this. This would be a very good time for a fire drill or a flash flood. You don't practice much, do you? You don't practice much at home, do you? I guess not as much as I should. John, it's none of my business, but is everything all right at home? Sure, sure. Sure is a very good word for situations like this. It's like a little shovel you can use to dig yourself out of a hole. Because you were wearing a t shirt the other day, and I could have sworn I saw some red marks on your arms and shoulder. He looked like someone, they looked like someone had been grabbing you, and I wondered, I mean, are you positive that everything is okay? Sure, because if something is going on and you need help, I want you to feel that I'm someone you can come to. Sure, thank you, sir. Right now, I should get to chemistry lab. I stand up. John, to hell with chemistry lab. I sit down. We look at each other. You have sad eyes, John, Mr. Stingwilly finally says. You remind me a lot of myself at your age, which is probably not a good thing for you, nor for you, Mr. Stingwilly. Let me tell you about myself at your age. My father wanted me to be a doctor. I wouldn't have made a very good doctor, John. John, I hated the sight of blood. Frankly, I was a little lost. I didn't have many close friends. I spent a lot of time inside my own head. This is fascinating, Mr. Stingwilly, but perhaps you should keep it to yourself. I do not wish to hear about your childhood. You think I'm some kind of kindred spirit, but I'm not. You don't know me at all. Those were good years, John, frankly. I muddled through them, but I didn't enjoy them. Childhood is golden. I don't mean to say that you're a child, but I do think that, as an ancient Greek playwright said, every day in the light is precious. They're especially precious when you're young. It's a special time. Mr. Steamwilly, among the Lasasha Palulu childhood, as you call it, is seen as one long obstacle course to be survived. There are wars with other tribes during which children's heads are prized trophies. There are cold winters. There are the cold winters. There are the blistering summers. There are the leopards that live in the forest and feed on young men and women who cannot run fast enough. When a Lasasha Palula reaches adulthood, they never think or talk about their early years. It's like their childhood was a void, a big zero. What is important is that they survived. John, are you listening to me? Yes, sir. You looked like you were far away. You don't have to call me sir. We're not in the army here, are we? No, Mr. Stingwilly, I'm listening. John, I don't believe it's a healthy thing for a young person to spend so much time inside his own head. It's a trap, one I know all too well. Now, one way out of that trap is to find a magic portal to the outside. For me, John, music was that magic portal. Does this make any sense? Mr. Stingwilly, to be honest with you, all I want is to get out of here. I am nodding and listening and saying sure, but the only magic portal I'm interested in is the one out of your band office. When I found music, John, all kinds of things opened up for me. The world became a more beautiful place, a warmer place. I became more confident. I made friends more easily, even girlfriends. Did you just wink at me, Mr. Steinwilly? Or is something in your eye? But the reason all these good things were happening was because I was enjoying my life. Do you see what I'm getting at, Mr. Steinwilly? I see you sitting there beneath two large posters, one of Beethoven and one of Brahms, and I must tell you, you still don't look very happy to me. You still have sad eyes, and neither of them looks very happy either. Sure, Mr. Steinwilly, I really need to get going now. I didn't know you were so fond of chemistry. I just don't want to be late. I'll get detention. You still have plenty of time before you go, John. Do you have anything to say to me? I'm searching for a good answer. Nothing in my pockets, nothing up my sleeve. Seconds tick away. I'm glad you found music, Mr. Stingwilly. I'm not sure I'll ever really be good at it the way you are. Let me make a suggestion to you. The next time you play a piece of music, don't think of it as a jumble of notes. Try to think of it as a story. Put it into words in your mind if that helps. Or put it into pictures like a movie. Or even think of it as a series of colors or emotions. Will you try that? Sure. I'm standing. I have almost dug myself out of the hole. Good, because we're going to start playing a new piece soon, and you are going to have a solo. Mr. Steinwilly, are you nuts? I know you can handle it. So you are nuts. Next question. Why must I pay for your insanity? Now go enjoy the rest of your day. And if there are ever any problems at home, you know who you can talk to. Sure.